If anyone here would like, oh, thank you. Thank you, Devin. All set. All right, please come up to the podium. You've got 5 minutes. State your name and address.
Before it starts, can you tell me
Yeah.
whether the minute adjustment's being accepted?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Okay. Well, maybe I won't get to my whole report. Anyway, I did a summation mostly and then some recommendations of what's going on since this is probably the last meeting. I'll go in a reverse order, which may not make sense. My history is in May, when I asked about a rumor my brother heard about a sidewalk, I went to the town manager's office and asked what was going on. They said that they had a grant put in about a year and a half ago and didn't know which side the road it would be on. I asked why I wasn't notified about the grant and the plans. I was told, we don't have to, we own 15 feet. By the third visit, I said there had to be a detailed proposal. You know, what was in it? The assistant said, I went white. Yes, it's on your side. Took about a month to find out. I gave them my mailing address and have not received any town mailers. It was suggested I attend the sidewalk committee meeting. It was established because of the Meadow Row issue, although they would cover more generic issues to sidewalks. During the summer and lots of discussions, I was told that there would be a questionnaire on the side of the street to see who wanted it. By September, nothing had been done, and I was told that because of the election, it was on hold, so it would not become political. Come December, something changed, and it was not going to happen. So here we are with a public relations campaign to sell the town, tilting information towards the desired outcome. So I go back to my first meeting here. I asked the makeup of the committee. There were no residents nor folks from Meadow Road on the committee, managers, politicians, and support staff. I like to see the town committee put the sidewalk committee stuff on hold and have a committee made up primarily of residents from Meadow Road on the impacted area with support staff, a Republican and a Democrat. I'm more used to that in Bristol. They usually have people that are not all management, so to speak. Now I'm going to go to my other part. I have the longest frontage on Meadow Road with 450 feet that is exposed to this sidewalk. What will the city charge me if I don't clear the snow? What is your history? I had a suggestion that didn't get in there. I think my brother had suggested it. Why not set up snow plowing similar to the way garbage is picked up? You pay for it or you don't pay for it. The Judson to 177 is not a community issue. At best, it's a one-street issue. And when I asked about the complaints, I was pretty much told, even though that the names and streets were blocked out, that they weren't coming from Wistara. So I don't think you need it even. I'm still worried about issues on cutouts for my property to avoid what happened with the Darskys, where once the sidewalk went in, they weren't allowed any. And you could put the sidewalk on the other side of the road, which is flat, and solves the protected lands, which the EP advised me of, because you do have sections, probably about 200-300 feet up my end, and probably another 200-300 feet at the other end. Now I know there's disagreement on that. Now that's my report. I'm going to go to the minutes that you haven't accepted yet. I sent a letter in yesterday, minute correction for January 5th. 2 questions I asked were not included. I asked, will the rules being proposed affect farms bordering Judson Lane, where the almost half-mile sidewalk connects with Meadow Road is currently being plowed by the town? Mr. Arnold, Director of Public Works, Town Manager, responded that it would not be affected because of an agreement with the owners. I asked whether bikes are going to be allowed on the sidewalk. The Town Manager responded that it would be against the law. Please correct the minutes. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I still have a little time, I also gave you an FOI request, which connects with the issue that we just were talking about. You can read it yourself, but basically I've been asking to see the document that was referenced in that last meeting concerning the Judson Lane clearing for that half-mile strip. I didn't put in writing. I spoke with staff. Mr. Russell wasn't there. His staff was very nice. I stopped in yesterday. He was busy. Staff was again very nice. They hadn't been able to find anything, but then I don't think they would be able to find it. So it's something what I would expect to be addressed soon. I'm actually at the point where I have to file within the next few days. If I use the first date that I went in there, you need 30 days. I double checked with FOI. They said verbal is all right. The chief says coming in to see something, which I was pretty sure of, but it's been a long time since I've been out of the business. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to correspondence.
You saw in your correspondence, this is really not a sidewalk committee issue, but just to let you know, this had to do with some removal of trees on Burlington Road. Russ is going to have our construction engineer meet with the impacted owner and just see if they want to replace some trees. We were, oh, Russ, you're here. I was under, right, that's, I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. No, yeah, so it's that's what Devin told me today, right?
Yeah, we're gonna, so when we were doing reconstructing Burlington roads, we had to replace, I don't know, 400 feet of sidewalk. Brought it up to today's standard as part of the project, and our inspector talked with the homeowner. They said, yeah, go ahead and take the trees down. And that was 2 years ago, and now they're looking for the trees to be replaced. So I have my guy going out to meet with them. He's gonna schedule some time to meet with them, and we'll get that taken care of.
Thank you. All right,
Do you want
and
to,
you're gonna get back to them.
yeah, we wrote a letter to them and then Russ is going to have them
So-
come out, yeah.
Perfect, thank you.
We can talk quickly if you got about Mr. Quell's response. So
Mhm.
I'm going to review the minutes of, these are taped, right, Devin, these meetings?
Yes.
The one thing is that I'm pretty confident I didn't say that sidewalks, it's against the law for sidewalks to go on a sidewalk because that's not true. So I have to check that. I mean, we've talked about bikes, but I'll review the things.
For bikes to go on the sidewalk?
Yeah, yeah. So I can't imagine I would say that, but we can review the tape. And if I did say it,
Yeah.
I know we've talked about it quite a bit about electric bikes, that we want to establish something about electric bikes
Mhm.
on sidewalks, but sidewalks are absolutely allowed on, I mean, bikes are allowed on sidewalks. So I will review the minutes on that. And if I misspoke, we will make sure that we correct that. But I find that hard to think that I misspoke because I know that's not accurate. But I mean, if I misspoke, we'll look at it. And
And I would add, as part of the bike committee, they do not even recommend bikes on the sidewalks at all. And I don't believe it's a law that you can't, but they don't recommend it because it's dangerous.
no,
That's where we had come out. It's
Yeah.
The ideally sidewalks remain on the road.
Yeah.
But anybody who's had little kids knows that kids aren't gonna.
yeah, it's definitely not against the law for
Yeah.
a bike to be on the sidewalk.
Correct.
Now, the stuff with the FOI, that's new to me about Judson Lane. So was that the first time Mr. Krell asked about the Judson Lane sidewalk, us plowing that?
I don't know.
We don't have anything in writing
I
from
don't
him on
remember
that.
that being in writing. He brought it up at the last meeting.
Okay.
Is my recollection.
All right, so that I'm gonna, we're gonna go through FOI, I mean, not FOI, we're gonna go through the files. I mean, he's not here to listen to the response, but there was a lot that went on when we were doing the Judson Lane Road. We may not have a document and that says anything about some kind of agreement with the Wardarskis. The place is vacant, it's near the school. So very much that we could be doing it just because we are doing it. And so if that's the case, we'll put it in writing to him that says going to a school that whatever back, how long has the school been here? 20 years now? 25 years, the town has done that. There's no agreement to that. I don't think whether or not he has a right to say who we plow and who we don't, but we do different things. But Russ, you did a cursory look at some of the documents, but we did a lot. We're in the process of moving all our files right now, so it's hard to look at everything, but I would not be 100% surprised if I came back and told you that there's no document. There's a lot of different things that went on when we were building that road and the school and different things that went on with it. So there were a lot of agreements, and it could have been verbal, it could have been whatever. So that's to answer that question.
So would it be fair to consider tabling the approval of the minutes? Until you
Sure.
get a chance to
Yeah.
review, we can
Yeah.
do it next time. Are you good with that, Keith?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I need a motion for that?
Yeah.
Would you mind making?
Oh, no, we won't. We'll just, you didn't do it.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Let's move.
and I will look to see about if he did say what he did at the other part at the public hearing.
Mhm.
I'll have Thomas or Devin add that part to it. That's fine. If he said it, we can put it in. But like I said, I want to review the tape.
Confirm, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think I said that.
Thanks for taking the time to do that.
Okay, all right. And then the freedom of information, we will look and I will respond that basically we do not have a document that says that we would do it. And that's the end of that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Let's move on to new business to discuss the logistics for public information meeting.
Okay, so agenda E1, we looked at this a little bit, and this is kind of what we were thinking. And Kat and Devin have worked with me and Amanda. We were kind of thinking that at 7 o'clock we do an introduction. We thought maybe both you and Keith,
Mhm.
Brian and Keith,
Mhm.
could just do maybe just a very short overview in front of the group. Then I'd go through the presentation. We haven't made any changes to the presentation from the last time. We'd go through the that. Then we'd open it up for some basic questions and answers that we can kind of field and ask that. And then we thought, depending on how many people were there, if we have a big crowd, we break up into breakup sessions. If it's not that big of a crowd, I think that we can go through it. We have like 4 or 5 policy questions. And we thought that potentially like that all of us could lead. So like if there's not a ton of people, we could ask the questions. Someone like Kat could be using a whiteboard, writing down some of the answers, and we can kind of like hear when someone we say, ask the question, and then I say, well, do you think, I could keep on asking questions and we could have like it go back and forth. But if there's a lot of people there, we could break out and do it that way too. But we kind of thought it would be nice if just like either just myself or someone was asking the same question. So everyone's hearing sort of the answers and we're going back and forth on some of the nuances of the sidewalk like that way. And then we then put it up on the board, kind of like this is what everyone's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like what we were thinking about. And then Amanda did a nice little, it's not mine's not in color, but it is nice. Oh, there, it's up on the board. Ad hoc sidewalk informational meeting. I thought that was good. It went out in the Friday folders. I think we wrote where it went. It's on the front page. Yeah. There was an article in the town newsletter. It's posted in the news section on the website. A flyer was created and it was in the Fridays folder. We're going to publicize on the social media accounts, and Everbridge is going to do a push notification to interested parties.
Great. Perfect.
I think that's what it is. And then
Thank you.
that would be the logistics. And then we have the presentation and then the discussion questions. Again, we kind of changed around a little bit how we tried to do like a big kind of so we'll start. So if additional funding were directed towards sidewalk repair and construction, would you be willing to increase your taxes to pay for this program? Yay or nay, kind of. Then would your opinion change if other town services reduce funding to pay for the sidewalk program and maintain taxes at a low rate? So yes, you could be like, yeah, I want sidewalks, but do you want sidewalks and reduce funding for education? Do you want to reduce for public safety? Something like that, kind of have a discussion about that. For new sidewalk discussion, does the public good outweigh the private interest of the property owner? Do you agree that the town should assess a property owner for the cost of a new sidewalk adjacent to their property that is a substantial direct benefit to the community at large if the property owner does not want a sidewalk abutting their property and associated responsibilities? So again, do you think that the public good? Should there be a percentage of abutting property owners in support of a new construction to occur? Is your opinion different if the town is paying for the construction of the sidewalk through grant funds, capital funds, or through grant funds or capital expenditures? The homeowner would still be responsible for liability and maintenance. Furthermore, is your opinion different if the cost comes directly from the municipal budget affecting your tax rate? So just kind of questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
Should the town fund a new sidewalk construction program where there is no substantial direct benefit is needed for a new construction? So the thought is, I think there are people in the community that basically feel their position is it should be more of a sidewalk community, and we should have sidewalks all over the place regardless.
Mhm.
So there's one, do you believe if we should have sidewalks if it's a direct benefit? Do you believe that the town should pay for it? Or do you want sidewalks everywhere? And then should the town enforce the existing ordinance regarding maintenance of poorly rated sidewalks adjacent to property owners? If enforced, who should bear the cost? Things to consider. Sidewalk repairs are costly to the property owners. Town-funded sidewalk repairs would increase taxes. Example, hiring new employees to inspect and maintain the sidewalks. Prioritizing town services to add inspections and maintenance. Example, do you want your highway employee inspecting sidewalks, or do you want them cleaning up the rails to trails? What do you want? Thing. Other factors to consider. Complaints regarding sidewalk conditions are infrequent. The town could create a fund for financial assistance program, for financial assistance for income base, or the town could create and fund an incentive program which would contribute a percentage of sidewalk repair cost to a property owner who voluntarily do that. So I think like when we kind of went down to like what we're trying to figure out, I think the first thing is that are you willing to a sidewalk repair program? Are people willing to increase their taxes to do it? Is it important to people to do it? Then the public good versus, having a direct benefit. Do you want sidewalks all over the place? And are you willing to give up other services to get it?
Yeah.
I think those are kind of the topics that we want to find out. And I think to be fair, I think the majority of people that come to a meeting like this are probably going to be a pro sidewalk type of group, I would think. So I think we just have to, but I think it would be interesting to say to someone, okay, well, listen, if you don't want your taxes to go up, are you willing not to do an extra recreation program? Or do you want a sidewalk is that important to you?
Yeah. Well, and I would just say, I mean, I don't know, it needs to be said for the record, just because in public comment, these questions don't steer anybody in a direction either. These are very innocuous, 50-50 questions.
Yeah.
I don't think they're pushing anybody in a direction. So I think that's the point of them. So
Right.
even if we get a pro crowd, there's things in here that people probably thought, because, you could live on the east side of town and have your taxes go up for 10 years because there were a bunch of stuff on the west side of town needed sidewalks first, if something big got approved. And then and then in 10 years, the east side of town gets, and so it's this thing where people have to remember that.
Right. But we very much, would you say, again, if you're doing tough dialogue, you say, okay, well, we could have a $4 million road bond. We can have a $4 million sidewalk bond every time we do bonds.
Yeah.
We can do that. Is that what, but your taxes are going to go up to do that. And we're not going to do all the sidewalks at once, but your taxes are going to go up and you may never get a sidewalk.
Yeah.
And is that really what you want? And again, if the town is paying for it and it's a direct benefit, and we can do that, what's people's position? Now, if you're honest, like someone was saying today, listen, all the snow we've just had, and we were just saying you're putting a sidewalk in front of your house and you have to maintain 20 inches of snow off of it, you may not be that happy about it.
No, I mean, I completely agree.
So we thought those were kind of like better questions to talk to them about. And hopefully it's a pro sidewalk crowd, not a nice crowd that wants to have kind of an interactive, because I think people just don't really know a lot about sidewalks, and it's a lot more complicated than, as you guys know, we have learned. It's a tough issue.
Especially if you don't have a sidewalk, or if you do already have an opinion.
And
You might not.
and we talked about maybe gauging that by asking a question at the beginning, like,
Oh yeah,
rate, off the top of your head, where would you rank sidewalks as a priority? Write that number down, and then ask the same question at the end of the presentation, where we kind of built, here's what we do now, here are some of the considerations, and see if that number changes.
See if it moves.
Just like an exercise before, and then we provide all of this information, and then see if that needle's changed at all for each person.
That would be good.
I think also, this is sort of on the side of that too, but we should probably let people know at that meeting that it's the following week is the public hearing on Meadow Road.
no, the public hearing is going to be in April.
Oh, it's in April. Sorry, I saw it in your town.
Yeah.
Manager's report, but I didn't check the date. I thought maybe it was.
Yeah,
Okay.
we decided to do it's the second April meeting.
So maybe we let people know about
No,
that,
yes.
that night too, because again, to Mr. Crow's point, we didn't do the survey.
Right.
That there's no better place to to do a survey than at the public hearing, so.
Yeah.
Right, that's what is required. And I think Brian and I talked about, and that's one of the reasons why we're setting the public hearing, hopefully tonight, so people know that's
Yeah.
the date, it's coming, it's in April. We gotta get through the budget season. And then in April, we'll have this public hearing and we'll do the requirements and things like that. And so then people at least know that's when the date, and we can announce it at the sidewalk, this sidewalk.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That we have it and get that squared away. So, I mean, I think, and again, there's a lot of things that when you saw people come about fairness too, is that, even if we do have a maintenance kind of program, which is maybe something people want to do, but if you just repaired your sidewalk, you're going to be pretty mad that you just repaired your sidewalk when someone now just got the government to repair your sidewalk.
An income-based thing for people that are really in need. I think the fact that we've had no program for enforcement, like I don't think we have to turn the dial up to 10 right away. I think it's, what I mean?
I think like D's and F's.
Yeah, and I think it's a conversation, and then how, you don't want to say to people, we're not, we obviously care about it, but you don't also need to go in and start leaving properties a month later. There's a fine line between
Right.
getting stuff back up.
Right. Yeah, I think that, and like I said all along, I think that we should flip the narrative about like that the town should be driving where the new construction of the sidewalk should be versus waiting for people to come. Like we should have, and we're working on having a list.
Sure.
And then this is the list of where we want to put new sidewalks. And because it meets the public interest, and then whether we apply for grants or it becomes part of the operating budget, it's more of a people know that that's where we want to put the sidewalks. And if there's funding available, this is where we're going with these sidewalks. Instead of people coming to us and saying, this is
Wondering.
where we, go the other way.
Well, yeah, I think after this meeting, and then plus our public hearing in April, there'll be a tremendous amount of information that
Yeah.
really get the temperature of the town.
We said information is the first thing everybody needs before we move forward. So this is a good way to do it.
Right. And I think, we'll go through that. And, we didn't put anything in here about us like snow plowing people's yards and stuff like that, because that I don't think we're ever going to do. I think realistically, I mean, there may,
I don't think so.
we're not going to have, no town does that.
No, I mean, he has an interesting idea about is it like an a la carte service?
Yeah.
But that gets to be tough too, so because you can't,
Isn't that what landscapers are for?
Yeah.
well, exactly, you can't buy we can't buy a bunch of equipment because 2026 we had 1,000 people sign up, and then 2027 people said, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting on stuff and staff, and it just doesn't work.
Right. Well, again, then like you said, if you're willing to pay for the sidewalk to get plowed, you should probably be paying the landscaper to do it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not the town.
yeah.
And so that's the thing. So,
We're not in that business.
and so the meeting is next Thursday at the Yates
Yates.
Room at the police department. So like I said, we'll keep pushing some of the social media stuff out, and hopefully we'll get some people and we'll try to have it set up. You guys, do you want me to draft some kind of intro, or you guys can do it for you guys, or what?
I mean, if I wouldn't mind if you're
Okay,
willing,
yeah.
if you take a look at something.
Yeah,
because-
I'll draft.
That's fine.
Yeah, we'll just draft a couple of talking points for you.
Yeah.
Both of you to talk. We can do
There's
that.
something,
Perfect.
either of us feels need to be said, we could certainly.
Okay. Yep. I can do that.
We're usually not at a loss for words.
Right. Right. And
Better
we can
rein us in.
announce- yeah. And hopefully, like I said, the person that came to the last council meeting, there is definitely in that neighborhood an interest to get this metal road sidewalk. Maybe not on the people right there.
House
but
guy on
at the
36 carriage.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely an interest to have that. So anyway, so
Right.
that's where we're at.
So we're good with the slides and the questions that we've talked about tonight.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I think it's great.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
If there is nothing else to discuss, I think we've covered everything. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.